We've been hearing a lot these days that black people can't be next because we were always first, and there are versions of that statement that are true. But the more I learn about Wahite people, I realized that they do to each other first what they do to others. They have normalized it in their community and in their culture so that they don't complain about it enough for us to realize that it is an issue that they deal with. The main way I realized this point was watching TikToks from a mixed woman who has a Wahite mom, and she was talking about her bad experiences with her mom and the respectability politics and stuff. And I was like, oh wait, respectability politics is the norm amongst Wahite people, but it still doesn't prevent it from being racist when they expect us to adhere to respectability politics once it's black people. Additionally, that trend of the Wahite men talking about how they were, abused by their fathers as punishment, I'm like, oh, that's why when all this information, whether it's the Epstein files or some type of like Harvey Weinstein or something, they have normalized all these behaviors in their culture and in their community so that when it is happening, it's not even like, okay, that's just a Tuesday. So they don't fight against it because it's normal. And then when you see black people or other people complaining about it, they don't see the problem because it's normal. And then add in, I remember years ago reading an article where it was like these funny travel stories, and I think it was from the Thomas Guides, and it was talking about complaints that Europeans had. And I remember there was one complaint where the person was from England, went to Spain, and complained about all the Spanish people that was outside his window in his hotel. And I'm like, Spanish people is Wahite. So you just complain. It's not because, in the U.S. we think of people who speak Spanish as being people of color. But, Spain is in Europe. So them is some Wahite people. And I just was like, so they just be complaining about everybody. They be complaining about each other too. I think that was my first foray into knowing that. So with all this analysis and these think pieces about the Epstein files, I just watched a really good TikTok video where the person was talking about how Epstein was trying to get the power in the Wahite community. They do that stuff to them first and then export it out to people of color. But that does not prevent it from being racist when they do it to people of color.